This episode of the Coarse podcast has been brought to you by Central Sports and Graphics Incorporated, family-owned and operated screen printing and embroidery business located in a historic storefront on Old Berwick Road in the heart of Espy. They've been doing screen printing for over 20 years. They have high-quality product at a low price. Be sure to check them out. Central Sports and Graphics Incorporated, 570-784-1212. Now, on to the show.
Hey, this is Chef Justin Sutherland, and you're listening to Shawn on the Coarse podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 148 of the Coarse Grind podcast. With you as always this evening, host, creator, Shawn Rosler. How is everyone doing tonight? You know, I think by now it's safe to say that the model of, well, pretty much everything is changing. And I guess at the same time, it's not just a model of things, but basically everything. Restaurants are turning to carry away. Some are turning more mercantile. Hell, my kids are starting full-time remote schooling again. I realize that last one has nothing to do with what I typically present here on the show, but I just had to get it out, vent, bitch about it. And even this show has turned more check-in than new faces. And honestly, as change goes, I'm really good with that. That's pretty awesome. So tonight, I have the fortune of checking back in with not just one, but two phenomenal former guests and current friends of the show who, upon first interview, might have had to do this via Zoom or something, but now, well, it seems they're kind of in each other's space a hell of a lot more. One half represented cooking with Caitlin and now represents the pastry side of Dear Restaurant and Butchery, while the other is the executive chef of Dear Butchery and Market. But who knows what they'll be doing, as they always seem to be on the move, and that is a good thing. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, back to the show, but in a different way this time. Top Chef Season 16's power couple, and just seriously awesome, phenomenal human beings, Chefs Caitlin Steininger and Brian Young. What the hell is going on, guys?
Hi.
Hi.
I
don't feel very power couple. Yeah.
You are, and here's why I'm gonna tell you this. So like, I go on and on and on about folks who are on the show and people who talk to me, people who there was just a skills auction for the Hand in Hand Resource Center here in the area. It helps young kids who are on spectrum, and my youngest happens to be on spectrum. So I, as a pompous podcast host, said, well, I'll give an hour cooking lesson. So $100 later, some poor sap paid for this. And so most of the time when I meet with these people, it's never about, you know, what I can show them. They're like, so you talked to so-and-so from Top Chef? What are they like? And honestly, to the top always floats you two, you know, handful of others. But honestly, for real, like the whole bonding on the Morrissey Punk thing, Brian and Caitlin, right. Just the fact that you had to do your first interview in your car because your kids were driving you batshit. I've never felt more of a similar vibration to another human being. I'm like, yes, I feel that. And
I wish I was in my car right now.
I heard some goings on. It's funny, kind of pulling the curtain back as I was trying to put together the call. We end up landing on Zoom. I switched back over to Caitlin just as she goes, I love you. And I'm like, love you too? Clearly talking to a kid. But it was cute. It was amazing. So folks who are tuning in, who are here for the first round of the show, clearly you don't need to go back. You can if you want. But folks who are new to this and folks who have never heard of these two wonderful humans from season 16, and why the hell haven't you? Caitlin, do you want to guess on what episode you were? We are at episode 148 right now. I'll let you... Oh,
jeezle. I was like before the 100th episode.
You
I was
certainly
like 98.
were. You were 95. 95.
Crazy.
Original air date was early 2019. And then, Brian, you were a handful later, actually. I got to look. There's Kevin Sharp. I'm kind of going through the log here, but where the hell are you? I should have been more. Oh, there you are. There you are. I'm over here. Episode 103, dude. Episode 103, August 6th, 2019. And Caitlin, you were February 23rd, 2019, respectively. So it's been a while. So if folks want to go back, folks want to listen, feel free, knock yourselves out. Again, great audio, just an entertaining, fun as hell time. And I loved it. But so, like, present day, though, talk to me about Dear Restaurant and Butchery. What's the story there? How did we land there?
Go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, and it goes quiet.
All right. So, Dear Restaurant and Butchery, I am, as you said, the executive chef here. I met Austin, who is the owner and also is the sommelier. Mm-hmm. They put out like I don't know, I guess it was kind of like a shot in the dark kind of ad situation, to try to find a chef for the new project they wanted to do. Austin moved here, this is his hometown. He moved back from, where was it? He was in Colorado for a while at Frosca, and then I think he was in San Francisco at Rich Table, where he was the wine director. Right? Mm-hmm. He was the wine director. He's actually here too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's taking off his blazer and going home for the evening.
Fancy.
But so he was the wine director at Rich Table in San Francisco, which is excellent, and really was very inspiring to me. The food from there. We went out there and ate when we were sort of conceptualizing what Deer would become, which is an excellent food and beverage program there. So, so we're, I'm very lucky to have met him. We just hit it off right away, and now that was almost a year ago. That was 11 months ago that we met. So what's that? I don't even want to think about how long ago. Yeah. So that was 11 months ago, and now we are entering our second month of being at least fully operational as we can be due to COVID. But then I think it was back in July when we opened as just the market and butchery and cafe. So we've been really, really busy, and there has been a lot of growth and personal and professional growth, and not a lot of time for sleep and or other things, but we're starting to find some normalcy now, and the food has just been incredible. I've been really lucky with my team, finding an excellent team full of people who, to be honest, we're all sous chefs or chefs in their own right before they came and worked here for me. So I think I may be just one of the luckiest chefs in the United States.
Speaking of being the luckiest chef in the United States, you have this pastry chef at Dear Restaurant.
I do. I figured we would get into that.
I have been married long enough to know how to make that segue. So, Caitlin, talk to me about how you came into the... I mean, obviously, I think it makes sense, but how did you land as pastry at Dear?
So when COVID first occurred, I was at... the restaurants I started with my sister and friends, CWC and Station, and we were just like all other restaurants, just piecemealing every week a different business plan, a different menu. And then when Dear opened up, I just wanted to get to see Brian. That's how you know I'm in love. And so I offered to make the biscuits, which... Top Chef is comical. I know I shit the bed on the biscuits, but I offered to make the biscuits. So like for the first week or two, my job was just to create his grandma's recipes, his Nana's. And then it kind of became, they had this cupboard, if you will, like refrigeration, that was labeled desserts, but Brian doesn't bake. So then they were like, while you're here, do you think you could put some things in the dessert case? But I still got to see Brian, and so yes, and so I then I just kind of kept baking, but still doing CWC and station at the same time. And it has been about, honestly, only 3 weeks, but the kids are doing, so we have 3 at home, and they are doing remote, and I can't believe, I'm like an embarrassment to all millennials. Like, the whole online school thing is overwhelming and all-encompassing and mind-numbing, and just, I can't, every superlative that is not G-rated I can think of. And kindergarten on Zoom is exhausting.
Oh, so, man, it's awesome.
Please.
That's my favorite thing in the whole world.
Oh, my God.
I left the house for 30 minutes, and you would have thought Brian was on, like, a watch list of not going to survive.
I come back, like, shake. She comes back from the bakery, like, I'm, like, shaking. Like, I don't know what to do.
It's a lot, and having 3 ourselves. Our district actually just reverted to full remote because they were going in person up until last week, but our youngest, again, Raymond having autism, they kept in-person instruction for special needs classrooms, which was awesome because obviously he benefits more from that. But the older 2 are down here, and my wife and I work from home. I cannot tell you how sick and tired I am of hearing the banter back and forth, not necessarily when class is going on, but when, like, class is off and they're like, oh, hey, bro, what's going on, bro? Oh, hey, you playing that? Yeah, me too, man. Okay, all right, bro. Bruh, if I hear bro one more time, I'm seriously going to, like, boot myself in my throat. Ugh.
Our 14 and 11-year-old, that's all day. And
yes.
I'm not really confident in their generation.
It's not just that. It's not just the banter back and forth or anything like that. It's like if you have anything to actually get done at home, like work related, it's just it takes like 9 times longer.
Oh, dude!
Because there's like we have a 6-year-old who's in kindergarten and she's like screaming from the other room, and then I come in like what's going on? Is everything okay? She's like, oh, I don't know how to be on my music class. And I'm like, why does a kindergartner have music class from home? We don't have any instruments here. What?
Oh, right.
I mean,
they're teaching her juggling in gym class.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How's that going?
So it is a train wreck. So with everything we just described, the shit show that is our home, I have just netted it down, like, I mean, I feel lucky where we are in the world and what is happening in regards to how mental health has become like a legit conversation and a respectable thing between chefs and all of that good stuff. But to be like, I just felt like short-circuited in a way with trying to manage all 3 things and the responsibility and just caring too much, which I'm so blessed to be surrounded by all chefs that feel the same way,
That's awesome.
So, the reason I stuck with Dear is because I can work when the kids are sleeping, and there's much more freedom in that, and then, I can work when no one else is in the kitchen. So Bradley was, her first 2 weeks of Zoom, there was a meat slicer behind her head while she was... we're still a shit show, but, it's much more manageable, and I still, above everything and what I stood for from the beginning is being a mom is the most important job, and I just kind of had to take it back to what's most important, so.
That's incredible.
So that's kind of, so I started off just wanting to be with Brian, and then now I get to make the desserts, and it's actually really... I never thought that I could ever hang in one of Brian's kitchens just because his style is so much. No, it's a compliment. Not because I'm a big girl and I got a trash mouth, so I'm not afraid of those things. But
who are you?
but just his finesse and technique is just far beyond anything I've ever been pushed to do. And like selfishly as a chef, I'm so proud of myself for being able to hang and make him proud. And the things that we're putting out it's just, I didn't know that I could do it. And he has constant faith in me. So it's just like the whole evolution of it all is really great. And I'm lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's not selfish at all, man. I mean, especially in a time like we are in, that's self-empowering. And I've encouraged others around me to take that time to give that grace. I've been hot on the word grace. And I think we forget that. And it's so important that you bring up mental health, Caitlin. Like, even if, we're not necessarily in the culinary industry, I mean, you guys are just taking it on the chin and the face. Like, I mean, you're taking a beating and, but like a lot of other, whether it be learning to work from home with kids, studying from home, whatever your stress may be, like, people are going through shit that we don't even understand. And the best thing you can do is give that grace, hand that grace to them. And then turn inward because, again, Caitlin, you said about, being a mom, being a parent, being that most important thing. And nothing could be farther from the truth. When I first started rolling out, like, it was kind of tight. Like, I felt very tearful nonstop. And I'm like, yo, I gotta go talk to somebody, get my shit sorted out. And I did. And I'm in the driver's seat. So, like, there's never going to be this veil over it, and there should never be shame of putting family over work, so good for the both of you. You're absolutely killing it. And it sounds like Dear Restaurant and Butchery, correct, at dear-restaurant.com, just so I have it right, so people can hear it and look it up and find out all about it. So you guys collectively are succeeding in an environment that is pretty short with success. What's been key to that? What has been key to that?
I say, one of the things that's been the most important is that, from the very beginning, we had this whole market butchery built into our business plan. And one of the really great things has been that since we were already planning on having that as a part of our business, is really being able to, instead of trying to pivot and adjust and throw something together, is we just leaned into that part of our business, which has been excellent at helping us stay afloat. We've got great, like what I call take and bakes, which is basically like, come pick it up, or we even deliver entire meals to people that are heat and serve.
Beautiful.
And so that's been excellent for us. And then, establishing just a presence in the neighborhood where people can really come in. They trust us. We're very careful. Yeah. And, they can pick up whatever, some steaks, or, we do all kinds of great local, other proteins, and then even some salads and sides and things like that. So people can kind of stop through and kind of put together like a quick meal for themselves and not have to get takeout every single night, which is, I think, it's really a saving grace for a lot of people. They don't have to eat fast food all the time. Trying to do that with the neighborhood.
I also think that something that's really been amazing just to get to be the spectator of, Brian as a chef is unapologetically himself. And I think that in a city, I mean, I'm born and raised there, and as a restaurant owner, you struggle. Do I cook food that people want, or do I cook what makes my heart happy? And I think the whole team at Dear, it's just like the most amazing, respectful atmosphere in regards to, they're so appreciative to have Brian and my point of view, and we're so honored to cook for them. And it's just like this whole trust thing, like Brian said, in regards to, they can't wait to find out what we're going to come up with next. And we can't wait to inspire them and feed them and make them proud in a whole nother way. So
that's a big question. And that's, for me being the layperson on this call, you've got two aces and one, like, maybe four on a good day. Being able to trust that source. Thank you for generously laughing at that. You want to be able to trust your source, and especially now you want to know that that's not only going to be like new and, exciting, but like safe. And I imagine you guys are literally taking the utmost of precautions.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It's so funny too. As far as a word goes, Mercantile has probably gotten more mileage out of the past 9 months than it's ever gotten in its entire fucking life. Like, let's be honest here. Mercantile, I had, God, I can't believe this is going back 20 episodes now, but I had Hosea Rosenberg back on. He won, season 3 or season 4 or something. But Black Belly out in Colorado, they turned the whole restaurant around into a Mercantile butchery. Like that.
Wow.
They were able to pivot and like they were able to survive and they were able to feed their staff and keep their staff on payroll. Like this awesome movement, but it's like that's the rarity that you're hearing. And so, when I saw what you two were doing and how you were doing it and the success you're having, like I had to get you back. I had to take the pulse. I had to find out. Talk to me about what's coming up then. Like, let's say ideally. I think we speak in ideals now. And by the way, Brian, there's been 2 solid compliments that have come out of Caitlin on this episode that if you pay me enough, I'll isolate them and you can make them your ringtone. I totally will too.
She is absolutely, she makes up the what I lack in, I guess, I'm not necessarily the warmest fellow in the entire world. But it's not because I don't love people, or it's not because I don't, care, but she is definitely she's definitely more vocal about, being appreciative of people.
Absolutely.
And I'm kind of more of a pragmatic guy. I try to do practical, nice things for
No,
people.
I feel you. Caitlin, I can isolate that one for you too if you want.
No, I would never want that.
So let's assume, here we are going into winter. Winter is coming. And let's say with the vaccines and everything, we start to come out of this. We start to return to a normalcy. What does the future look like for Dear Restaurant? From the both of you. Talk to me.
Well, I mean, I hope that, that Dear is really successful, and that we become, sort of a community staple in Hyde Park Square, and Cincinnati, greater Cincinnati. And that, maybe we have a chance to expand, to do another butcher shop, or maybe eventually another restaurant. That's always the goal, is to have, 2 or 3 restaurants. And I think my goal, I mean, it's hard to think in long term right now.
Sure.
I think, my everyday goals are I try to have my achievable, or even my really hopeful goals are that, I get to make sure that my staff has a job, and that the food that we're putting out is food that we believe in, that people can relate to, that people are excited about. And I think, that's not just a daily goal or a short-term goal, but also a long-term goal that, what we're doing, it feels, the way we want it to feel is comfortable. We want it to feel special, but also, relatable, and, just sort of working on creating, that sort of big, dinner table experience, the shared meal. That's what we're really focused on, and creating community through, through a shared table.
Totally heard.
So,
yep.
I think it's just about, staying a part of the community and making sure that we are addressing hospitality, from within, as well as, offering it to others. So that's just, that's my hope.
Yeah.
But maybe down the line, another butcher shop.
Yeah.
Or another restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, God.
I would rather have more children than open another restaurant in the United States. dear God in heaven.
That might be a first quote for the show, Caitlin. I'm not going to lie. That might very well be a first.
Could you just make that?
My God.
Could you make that my ringtone?
Yeah, you want me to isolate that for you? I can do that.
Listen,
thank you.
as someone who has officially done both now multiple times, they are very similar and long and ever present and worrisome and so much personality. But opening more is just so scary. Like,
yeah.
I don't. It is hard because there's to an extent how will the world ever go back to normal? What will normal be? You know.
Right.
I feel terrible for my family because I am not interested in cooking for our family, but I'm like so subconsciously determined. Like tonight, I went and I got pho from a small local independent restaurant downtown. The night before, we went and we got Chinese from another small independent family-owned restaurant. You know, like it's like ferociously, I just want to keep everybody surviving the whole, it's just craziness. But I would say that for the future, like what I hope is Brian already talks about how good our team is and how everybody is already we're so aggressively already family. Mm-hmm. Brian refers to all the line cooks as the kids. Have the kids come in yet? One had an earache and I was pretending to be his mother on the phone to try and get him antibiotic. It's just,
I went and got him, I probably spent $40 on different remedies, over-the-counter remedies to try to help him relieve the pain in his ear.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We love the kids so much.
Yeah.
The restaurant kids and the real
only
kids.
5 years younger than us, so logistically it's not possible. But I just hope that they get the attention and the credit that's due to them. I think that the food in Cincinnati, as a hometown girl, I'm so proud of it, how far it's come, how original it is, how proud people are of the things growing in our region and how creative. I think that it's time for Cincinnati to get the spotlight, and I think that Brian is definitely leading a team that will help get the attention due, and I don't foresee any of that changing anytime soon. So
that's fantastic.
Before we open up anything else, for the love of God, just maybe focus on something like that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You're definitely Cincinnati proud, although as a Steelers fan, you're probably not that proud after this week. But
I know.
Oh, 9-0. 9-0. How about that? How about them apples? That's unheard of. That's unheard of. But I'm actually gonna sidestep that because you two, first of all, you embody community and, supporting Cincinnati the way that you do and just supporting your work family the way that you do. Like, this is why, folks listening, you hear me say it a lot about the folks I have on, who I have on as repeat guests. Notice there are some people who don't come back on as repeat. Maybe there's a reason for that. But the folks that I have back on are the people who I truly admire, revere, and respect. And it goes without saying that the work the two of you are doing goes beyond that. And I adore the both of you infinitely. Before we wrap, because I know you're busy human beings, I got to ask you some fun questions. Now that the blanket is off and we see, oh, look, they're together.
Okay.
I've got to ask some modified versions of the afters now that the both of you have to kind of feed into. So the first one is, I'm standing in your kitchen. You might remember you answered about the music you'd be listening to. However, if you're both standing in the kitchen cooking, what music would you be listening to? Listen to that Satan laugh. Woo!
I try to be very judicious with the music allotments. I let people play stuff whatever people want to, unless it really gets on my nerves a lot.
Okay.
So,
I left the kitchen today to the Misfits, so
all right.
He's
That's
definitely yes.
We listened to the Misfits. We listened to some Lamb of God today, but also we listened to Kanye radio after you left.
No, I would like to say that Kanye only comes on if Brian's in the doghouse or if he knows he's had a rough day. Everybody knows there's like a moment of silence when Kanye comes on for Brian to admit he doesn't say I'm sorry. He's a man of few words, but if Kanye comes on,
and
I love Kanye.
I love Kanye. Kanye helps me.
Kanye helps you. Kanye is your savior.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Because you know how sensitive and well-mannered Kanye West is.
Oh, for sure. Of course.
Oh my God. That's what you were going to say? No. I like old Motown and like I'll play the Spinners or like old Stevie Wonder, things like that. That makes my heart happy. But then Brian can appreciate. He don't ever play Chicago though. He does not like Chicago. That is exhausting.
I'm sorry to everyone, and especially Shawn. I heard you sigh just now. Was that a sigh?
No. You got to understand what that sigh is. So go with me for a minute. I'm literally listening to this. I'm gonna have Greta listen to the raw audio tomorrow. You are literally describing Greta and I. Like Misfits, like the Cramps, like all these groups. That's me, dude. If I'm in the kitchen banging shit out, like I want that 2-minute whereas she'll have like Motown and Stevie Wonder and all this shit, and I kind of walk in and it's like, what do I do? Do I put my head down and go with it? Yeah, it's fine. Let's go. You kind of go along for the ride. So if there had to be a musical compromise, what can the both of you listen to together? Like for us, Bare Naked Ladies, for whatever reason, takes us back to college.
I think, I don't know, I feel like, some of the old Motown and, like less of the disco era of Motown stuff, but, some of the older stuff, older Stevie Wonder, Spinners are good. I think that's kind of where we meet in the middle a lot, but, I think,
we both
Lake Street Dive sometimes.
Dude, oh my God, Brian, you just nailed it. Oh my God. That's our jam. Like Lake Street Dive, are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? They're the best.
Shut up.
Best ever.
I love them so much, but Brian gets a little tired of how much I love them.
It can get a little tiresome.
Also,
she loves them.
Tell them why you get tired of it.
Because I went to high school with Rachel, who's the singer of Lake Street Dive.
What? Shut up.
And we were friends in high school, actually. We were in select choir together in high school.
Oh, that's so funny.
She got all the solos, dude. All of them.
Well, I mean, can you put that together now, Brian?
That voice.
Yeah.
Her mouth, when she opens her mouth, it's like the size of like 3 normal people's mouths put together.
Hello,
I'm not knocking it, dude. It's power. Her voice is powerful.
Oh my God.
She is anatomically superior in the voice department in every possible way. But,
oh my God. That's so funny. I used to play
guitar when we would do like talent shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to play guitar for Rachel.
Oh, that's incredible.
In high school when she would sing.
That is incredible. That is awesome. Oh my God. That's good. That's literally going to make my wife's like life when she hears that. She's like, that's amazing. That's so funny.
We're big fans, and I'm a big fan of hers. I've been, secretly, quietly following her music career for forever.
Oh my God, how could you not? And I mean, they are musically like that's the kind of complication I want in my music. Like, make it that many layers. Don't make it simple for me. Make it complex. I like complex. All right, and finally, I'm going to modify one of the other questions just because I think it's so fun to have the two of you here. And I'm going to go to Brian first, so you can't rest on Caitlin's answer to this. Brian, describe Caitlin in a single word.
Oh, Jesus. Did not see this one coming.
On the spot. See, Caitlin, now you got prep time. You owe me for this.
Am I pressed for time? Is there like a timer going?
No. We don't have a...
I would say, like, absolute grace. Like, she is the most gracious person I've ever known in my whole life.
That's awesome. I'll listen to her giggling.
She gives everything to everybody.
Won't be any Kanye in your future soon, man. Based on that giggle, you're in good shape.
Good.
Well, also, there's one of the kids next to me who don't agree with that answer.
I think she gives all that she's got in everything that she does, including to her relationships, and she is, every single person just feels like they're the only person in the whole world when she's talking to them. I think it's my favorite thing about her. She is absolutely, she just really makes you feel, she makes every single person feel like heard and important, and it is probably, I think, one of her greatest qualities that I see.
Wow. So. Wow. Look at that.
Very
that pragmatic
nice
guy kicked to the curb there. That was pretty that's pretty soft. How about you, Caitlin?
I will say one of my favorite things about Brian is truly how brilliant he is. We have a family trait, my immediate family, of kind of guessing what the next thing is that someone's going to say before they can get it out. And just Brian is truly one of the smartest people I've ever experienced. And he has taught me to just listen, and because I pride myself on reading and learning and knowing big words, but I am definitely a better person, a better chef, a better partner for getting to be with him. So
wow, so brilliant, grace and brilliant, and I mean that could be, that could be a sitcom. I think we should take a run at that. Brilliance and grace. I love it. Well, hey gang, you are again. I hate to go back to the gushing, but I truly you were two of my favorite people, and I love the fact that I get to have you both on air at the same time because you're both awesome. Dear Restaurant and Butchery, located at 2710 Erie Avenue, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45208, 513-321-2710 for more information, or check them out at dear-restaurant.com. I nothing but great things. I mean, you guys navigated the pivot, and I think you're only going to continue to do so. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yep. Thank you
very much. Thanks for having us on.
Of course,
it's great to get to talk to you. And I can't believe it's been so long.
2 years, almost 2 years, my man. It's been a while. So maybe, hopefully, it'll be less time between now and the next time.
Deals.
Right? Maybe get your ass to Cincinnati and have something to eat.
Amen. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode number 148 of the Coarse Ground Podcast. With me this evening, Top Chef Season 16's power couple. I said it again. Chefs Caitlin Steininger and Brian Young. Listen to him moan. He loves it. Our producer, as always this evening, has been the lovely, voluptuous Johnny Leland Robinson, a.k.a. the Reverend Johnny Lamoria. Be sure to check out all his happenings in the Cinematic Pig's Feet podcast and much more. Our next episode, we're going to take a trip home for a bit of something sweet. Stay tuned. Are you passing through Central Pennsylvania and looking for one of the best dining experiences and craft brew menus around? Look no further. Turkey Hill Brewing Company and 991 Central Road in Bloomsburg, PA has everything you could ask for and then some. Service, food, beer together. Unbelievable. Be sure to check them out. Call them today for reservations. 570-387-8422. Call today.